The single best feeling in fantasy football, guys, is when a player pops off, but you were like a thief in the night. You picked them up the day before, the night before. You saved your hard-earned fab on them. This is the Waiver Wire Stash video, probably my favorite video to do every week. We're going to be talking about 10 players that you guys should pick up. Try to grab one of these guys, stick them at the end of your bench, so you can save that money, man. Last week, I called out Troy Franklin as one of my favorite pickups. He was a prio. Ended up doing well for us, man. So let's see if we can hit on some of these players again. So the first little bucket of players that I have on this list are going to be Romeo, Doubs, and Dontayvion Wicks, with a preference to Dontayvion Wicks. Let me tell you why. The Browns play man defense, the highest rate in the NFL, about 55.4%. They have the #1 ranked defense against the run. So this is going to be a game where Jordan Love's going to have to sling it. He's going to have to pass the ball if they can't unlock this Browns run defense, right? It's been really good. It held Derrick Henry and Chase Brown in check. And on this chart, you guys can see I have all the wide receivers for the Green Bay Packers here selected. 2.1 yards per out run by Romeo Doubs against man. He has pretty decent PFF grades as well, 72.7% against man. But Dontayvion Wicks is the guy, man. He stood out to me. I said it in the last video. 3.92 yards per out run against man. It's a very indicative efficiency metric that we use to try to see who's productive, when they're out there running routes and against what coverages. And he has an 86.6 PFF grade against man. He is the man beater. He seems to be able to know how to catch the ball now. I don't know what happened. Dontayvion Wicks had himself an offseason, and he can catch now, and he's going to be involved in this game against the Browns. I like Romeo Doubs as well, as a dude who plays very well against man, has very good PFF grades. And then we got Matthew Golden down here. Unfortunately, he just hasn't done much, right? He hasn't been targeted. He hasn't had any real production as a receiver. So his PFF grades, his yards per out run, everything is just in the toilet right now. Theoretically, Matthew Golden should be good against a heavy man, right? Because he's one of the better. I think he is actually the best separator at the moment in the NFL. But make sure you guys go and grab Dontayvion Wicks and Romeo Doubs. One of them is bound to pop off. I think it's going to be Wicks as the guy who's really like the man beater on this team. Next player is going to be Jalen Nailor, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. I know Jordan Addison comes back in week 4, but I do think he's going to be the wide receiver in 3 wide receiver sets. And he's kind of like a pretty underrated, sneakily good wide receiver for this Vikings team. Hasn't done much from a fantasy perspective, but he's out there making plays, man. He's jittery. He's quick. He's a field stretcher. He can play out of the slot. And Adam Thielen, man, unfortunately, he's just cooked, dude. He looks like a corpse out there. I want to show you guys a play from week 2. This was a almost 80-yard touchdown. This is them here, or 70-yard. They're on their own 30-yard line. And Jalen Nailor absolutely burns his man. Let's watch this video together. So Jalen Nailor absolutely burns his man, dude. And he's open down deep. He would have probably housed that. That would have been like a 70-yard touchdown. And, JJ McCarthy, dude, he's just butt cheeks, and he actually gets benched after this game. They said it was an ankle injury. Maybe it was an ankle injury. Maybe it's real, but he was missing plays, dude. He was getting sacked. Jalen Nailor just absolutely burns this man. It wasn't AJ Terrell, so there was a play on AJ Terrell where he almost gets a touchdown. Let's see if I can find that shit. So this was another play where he just has like a nice out route. You see him here at the top of the screen. He's going to bust AJ Terrell's ass over here. He cuts to the right, and if the ball comes a little bit early, that is a touchdown. That is definitely a touchdown. Like, JJ McCarthy should have thrown this ball at the top of the route, right before the curl, right before the out on the route, and he doesn't, man. He misses him. It comes late, and he gets tackled out of bounds. But, dude, that could have been 2 touchdowns potentially. Like, he would have been expensive this week if he would have actually caught those. So they're going to make a quarterback change, so that could unlock the offense. It's going to be Carson Wentz. Maybe he's a little bit better. Maybe he can help this offense be a little bit improved. Maybe he can throw the ball deep a little bit better. And Jalen Nailor could be the beneficiary of that. Next, we have DeAndre Hopkins. Lions, Ravens. This is probably going to be the game of the week. The Lions play man coverage 31.9% of the time. That is 9th in the NFL. And DeAndre Hopkins, his entire existence on this team is to beat man coverage. I think he only had like 18% snaps last game, scores 13 fantasy points, gets a touchdown. He really only comes into the game when it's man coverage, and he is the man beater. Do teams play man when he's in the game? Either way, man, check this chart here. We got DeAndre Hopkins with a 9 yards per out run against man, with a 96.5 PFF grade against man coverage. He's an absolute man beater, dude. If we look at this chart a little further to the right, we see that he has 4 receptions versus man with 99 yards against man coverage, 0 against zone. So he literally is only on the field when they are trying to beat man coverage. And if the Lions are going to be playing man a lot, 9 yards per out run, dude, that's just absolutely diabolical. I'd be picking him up anytime they play against a team that wants to run man coverage. You can probably start this, man. Next, we move along to the running backs. And the first guy I have on this list is somebody that you need to go out and pick up. It is Blake Corum. Listen, all aboard. The train is leaving the station. This is the last chance to get one of the best handcuffs in football. He played 30% of snaps and he went 5 for 44 and a touchdown in week 2. Kyren Williams was his typical high volume, inefficient self. He goes 17 for 66. He's yet to bust 4 yards per carry. Going back to like probably fucking Pee-wee football, man. The dude is just one of the most inefficient runners. He's not explosive. He doesn't have a lot of burst. He's just not special, dude. I just don't understand the fascination with Kyren Williams. McVay after the game did say that the ideal split between Kyren Williams and Blake Corum, I think what you're looking for is something around 65-35 ratio for those guys. You want Kyren in 2/3 of the time and you want Blake the other third. I'm calling bullshit on that. I think McVay knows what he has to do. I don't think he has the strength to do it. Blake Corum's going to take over this backfield at some point during the season. I will bet $1 to anyone, dude. I'll Venmo you $1 if I'm wrong about this. Hit me down in the comments if you guys want to take that bet on. Next player is going to be Kyle Monangai. He is the backup running back on the Chicago Bears. It seems he has supplanted Roschon Johnson. He plays 41% of snaps in week 2. He goes 7 for 28. 4 yards per carry. He does get 3 targets as well. Look, Roschon was healthy in week 2. He was back after his foot injury. It could be that he's still kind of lingering, but he was healthy enough to be on the roster. He just didn't play. But Monangai still saw an increase up to 41% snaps, man. So it looks like he might have supplanted Roschon Johnson. Roschon Johnson might be cooked. It might be the end of his tenure here with the Chicago Bears. And Kyle Monangai is going to slowly eat into Swift's workload because every week, man, Swift has like 3 to 4 plays. He sees a wide open lane. He spin moves out of it into one of his own teammates' butt cheeks, dude. It's like you can put an anytime sports bet on DeAndre Swift missing open lanes every single game. So go and pick up Kyle Monangai before the Bears are 0-4 and they decide to have a better look at him. He could very much be the starter on this Bears team. And then the next player on this list is going to be Cam Akers. I'm kidding. I still have a standing hands-on sight fucking bounty with Cam Akers. I will not be picking up or starting him. I mean, listen, he's the backup. So if you want to pick him up, you're now my enemy as well, and you are at risk of catching this fade alongside Cam Akers. But honestly, I'm joking. You could honestly, you can probably pick him up, but just keep in mind he is the backup. It's a competent offense. He's the backup. If you're in a 128-man league, you can definitely pick him up, throw him at the end of your bench. Something could happen. But I just want to let you know you will probably get 3 yards per carry, potentially even less. He will probably fumble, get negative points. He's the worst running back, hands on sight if I ever meet him. But the actual RB2 in Minnesota is going to be Sideshow Bob, dude. He was the RB3 before the Aaron Jones injury. Zavier Scott, I've never heard of this man. I don't know anything about him. I don't know his profile. I don't know his speed scores. I don't know anything. I mean, he went to Maine College. I didn't even know Maine had a college. But he's cleared to play. He's going to be the next guy up. I think it's going to be maybe him or Akers. Maybe Akers takes the job just off of like name recognition, familiarity with the system. But you can maybe pick him up speculatively. If Jordan Mason goes down, dude, it's like next man up, dude. Sideshow Bob, you're up. Cam Akers, butt cheeks ass, 2 yards per carry. Cam Akers, you're next, man. So it might be a committee here after Jordan Mason. But the next actual player, in all seriousness, is going to be Woody Marks. He goes 27% of snaps in week 2, 3 for 14. So a nice little yards per carry there. Catches a big reception for 37 yards. Shows some of the burst. Shows some of the versatility. This Texans team has a dog shit offensive line. They cannot run the ball if their life depended on it. They bring in a new offensive coordinator for the purposes of being of unlocking the passing game. Dameon Pierce was a healthy scratch in week 2. Nick Chubb is actually looking decent, but he's aging. We don't know how much he can handle, how much workload. Woody Marks could end up eating into this workload and being an actual legit bona fide player in this team. If they become a pass first team, I think Woody Marks is the guy that they're probably going to lean on in the passing game. So don't break the bank for him. Don't spend a bunch of money. He might even be picked up in a lot of shallow leagues, but if you're in need of a running back and you're looking for somebody speculative, Woody Marks might be that PPR scam guy that we want to go out and grab. And next, I have a couple of tight ends for you guys. Jatavian Sanders at the top of this list. 4 end zone targets in week 2. No other tight end had more than 2 end zone targets. So we love tight ends that can get touchdowns. That's essentially the bet you're making. If you're streaming tight ends, you're looking for somebody that can help you out. You're in a pinch. Maybe you had George Kittle. Jatavian Sanders, man, you can do worse. This Panthers team, they have one of the highest plays per game. So their defense is just so bad that their offense is always on the field. They're just getting a lot of plays in. And one more thing about Jatavian Sanders, he was tied for 3rd with Tucker Kraft in air yards among tight ends as well in week 2. So he's getting air yards. He's getting end zone looks. You could do worse. I mean, if you're holding Hunter Henry, who's literally like unusable every other week, maybe Jatavian Sanders can help you out. And lastly, bro, I'm going to end this video with Cade Otton. Look, this is probably the last week I'll put him on the list because at some point he's going to have to produce. He's just out there. He's Tony Snell running routes. He's not really getting any production, but 91% of snaps in week 2. He got 4 targets. This is a good offense. We've seen him actually beast and feast. previously last year when they didn't really have any other wide receivers. So maybe he gets a little bit more involved. Maybe he gets into the end zone this week. There's definitely the possibility. At the end of the day, he's just out there running so many routes, playing so many snaps. You could do worse, man. It's definitely a competent team. You could do worse than Cade Otton. Pick him up if you're tight end needy. Just put him at the end of your bench. If Dontayvion is not there, I would obviously take Sanders first. That does it for the video, everybody. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much for being here and watching and giving me your time. I really appreciate it very much. Make sure you guys tune in, man. On Sunday, we're going to be doing a Sunday live stream. Yet again, that shit was hella fun last time. Thank you to everybody who showed up. Thanks to the Discord community. You guys are fucking goated. We're going to be starting at about 6 p.m., potentially a little bit earlier. We're just going to talk ball, man. Have a beer, you know, rip the vape. Talk about, you know, who's playing, who's not playing, look at last minute injuries, talk about lineup advice and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you guys subscribe so you do see when that does go live or when it gets scheduled. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.